all those who are there around us today and all those who are yet to be born, they are all con men if they say that there is something that they can do to save you and to save mankind.
Okay. Can we save, is there a possibility
There is
to
no
save
reason
ourselves?
for us to be saved at all.
Okay.
Why we are not ready to accept the world exactly the way it is? You see, is this all? The moment you ask that question, see, everything we are doing, everything we have done, accomplished, attained, achieved, is going to come to an end. That is what you call death. But death does not exist for this body. You are not going to be there when you are dead or when you become a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going there to, you are not going to be there to tell yourself that you are dead. And I am asserting even now, you have no way of telling yourself that you are alive. The fact that you are alive is something which cannot be experienced by you except through the knowledge that is passed on to us. You are breathing, your heart is beating, your pulse is not, all that knowledge they are projecting on us and telling us that we are alive. So, death is a definition. You cannot experience your own death. And even those who experience our death are not really experiencing what is called death, but the void created by the so-called death of a particular individual, the impossibility of carrying on the same kind of a relationship that they have been carrying on for years and years. It is the void that they are experiencing and call it death, but not actually death can never be experienced. You see, millions and millions of organisms live on this body. Millions. It is more useful dead than alive we are.
Because of the insects, the
even now,
amoeba, the
even
bacteria.
now, your physical eye cannot see. Millions of organisms are now crawling on this body, and once they took a picture and enlarged it and put it, I don't know whether it is Newsweek or Time magazine, as big as a cockroach. So our usefulness is for millions and millions of organisms that are living here and the fauna and the flora inside of your body.
Okay, so reality is indeed an illusion. Life is an illusion.
There is no such thing as reality at all. It's a definition. And even your Kant, I did Western philosophy. As part of my studies as a student of philosophy, he made an assertive statement that there is no such thing as reality. It was just a concept he arrived at, concluded, but it did not operate in his life.
Well, what he tried to do in Kritiek zum Reine Vernunft was to, the way I see it is, if you seal yourself in a steel barrel, totally not communicating, not sensing anything, what would be left?
The statement that he is making is born out of the same structure, that they are not ready to accept that, you see. And even as a student of Advaita Vedanta, it's very popular here, I did Advaita Vedanta. If there is such a thing as non-dual state, if there is any, that does not exist, you see. If there is any such thing as a non-dual state, it cannot be experienced. What you do not know, you cannot experience.
So all these mystical states that people talk, or that they experience, that I experience, is an illusion too?
No, you know something about it. The knowledge that is passed on to us from those people in whom you have a tremendous investment and believe that they are telling what they know is the one that is creating this, giving you this experience. Otherwise, what you do not know, you cannot experience. I even told J. Krishnamurti, when he was talking of, you see, what is, you stop there. You see, beyond mind, you don't talk all that shit to me. I told him, I knew him very well for years and years. And all right, if there is any such thing as non-dual state, or where you have gone beyond mind, why the hell you are describing that state as love, bliss, beatitude, and immensity? That's a sales speech. You are selling your own particular brand of cigarettes, fooling us all and telling us that it is nicotine-free. But they are also cigarettes. Our positive approach has failed us to reach our goal. You see?
But so
we have invented a thing. You have invented a thing called negative approach, but the goal is a positive goal. The goal must go.
What is the goal?
Any goal. Happiness does not exist. And permanent happiness.
Yes, but so there is no goal, there's no direction, there's no reality. What are we?
What is, that question wouldn't arise at all. Your assumption that there is such a thing as you see, is a realistic thing, and the goal, some goal placed before us. You see, you are supposed to be a selfish man. Suppose, I'm not referring to you. I am.
But we are as human beings.
Yes, and that selfishness is experienced by me as selfishness, because they are telling us that there is such a thing as a selfless state, and that they are free from selfishness. And so we take those words very seriously and begin to think that they are living a life which is free from selfishness. It is the demand to be, for whatever reason you want to be selfless, is the one that has created and perpetuating this. You are not doing anything to free yourself from selfishness, because it doesn't exist. It is that demand to be selfless for whatever reason they want us to be selfless.
But so you basically say that what
Anything.
cogito ergo sum,
Huh?
yes, the beginning of modern philosophy, cogito ergo sum, I think so I am, you
Therefore,
say that...
if you don't think, what the hell is it? I studied Descartes, cogito ergo sum, and that fellow was pressured by, you see, the church at that time, and he
so he came up and you said even that.
compromise. You see, if you don't
so
think,
if the mind...
if you don't think,
Okay.
where is that? And those people who started the other way, like in India,
I feel so I am.
feeling also is a thought, you see. Thoughts don't exist there, sir. It's only noise that is there, sound that is there. Nothing else is there. And that has, see, we have created the language.
You say sound is there, frequency you mean?
That you don't know unless you see, you separate the notes are the most important thing for us. You see, creating the space between the notes in a particular way, the way we are taught how to space those notes, created these thousands and thousands of languages. You teach me how to separate those notes. The music also is the same. There is nothing to music. Nothing. First time when I went to England, a friend of mine, I was not exposed or even bothered about listening to the Western music. I was only 21 years old. He dragged me to the Albert Hall to listen to one of the most famous concerts. I walked out in 5 minutes. I could not take it, you see, Beethoven's 9th Symphony or 5th Symphony. But I very crude language, those people who try to be clever and make me believe that Beethoven's 9th Symphony is something extraordinary. Even the same Indian music.
Okay, but now this sounds
Music
like...
is nothing, yes.
Are there nice things in your life?
Huh?
Is there a difference between this coat and a very dirty coat?
Yeah, but who says that this is fine? This is most expensive.
But do you feel that?
No, I don't feel.
You don't care about it?
No, I don't care. I don't want to walk naked to prove that I don't have any body consciousness like some of these spiritual people. It's better to run, see, some
So there is a
nudist colony
Okay. So
and
there is
live a
body
sensual
consciousness.
life than to call it as body consciousness is absent. To prove that you don't have any body, you have to walk naked in the streets. It is for their sake that I wear clothes. And what kind of clothes I wear? You walk through all those shops, they are telling you how you should dress yourself. What surprised me in England for the first time after so many years, all the menswear pushed to the underground. And women, I never saw those things exhibited in the windows in Harrods. Would you believe that? That
just didn't see
surprised
it.
me most. I'm sorry. What are we
Good.
talking
So
about?
we're talking about
We are
disease to divinity, and
When-
I feel like in a very empty space because you say everything
You are
is
saying that you are
it's not there.
You are not in an empty space. If you are lucky to be freed from the stranglehold of all that is put in there, the question of space or living in a space doesn't exist.
What is the state of mind if you are free of all these things?
The fact that you are throwing that question at me is born out of the assumption that there is
Mind.
something there which will remain after this is thrown out of your system. The throwing out of this is born out of that question, wanting to know what will be there, what you will be left with, is the extension of the same thing, is the projection of the same thing. Thoughtless state. So many people come and tell me that they are living in a thoughtless
But if I assume that this reality then is a product of my thinking, so if I stop thinking, the reality stops, what is talking to each other here?
Nothing. Just nice meeting you. Bye-bye. Even that is born out of thought. Nice meeting you.
So there is no purpose in life?
Why should there be any purpose? A living person would never ask the question, what will happen after my death? Is there anything beyond you? We are not living. A living thing does not, the body is not asking whether it will continue forever. We are asking the question because you want this. We are doing all these things. You and I will not be here tomorrow. We will be dead and gone. We are not there to tell ourselves, I did this, I did that. We interviewed, you are a famous man, and this useless guy you interviewed 2 times, and they are likely your interview everywhere. You see? And so, that is all that is left. Nothing else. It's just
Nothing. Okay.
the one question which we are asking ourselves, all that you have done, all that you have accomplished, all that you have attained, achieved, is coming to an end in what is called death. You see? Is that all? There must be something that will continue. I will tell you something.
But why don't we then massively say, there's
The
no reality, let's jump out of the window?
No,
or what?
you don't even have to jump out of the window. That is to prove that there is no such thing reality to you and to others. What does it prove if you jump out of the window? It is not your body.
You reduce me to an amoeba, a bacteria that just does his thing, ends his life sometime.
And goes away. And then you see, this is the one that is immortal. Because it is maintaining the continuity of millions and millions of living organisms. That's all that nature is interested in. I know you will not accept what I'm saying, or
Well,
your viewers.
let's talk about the world, because you have out of this belief that everything is illusion, you have very strong statements.
Belief is a wrong word.
Even believe is a wrong word.
No, you see why I assert that is, there is only a belief and there is no believer. You see, you are what you call is a belief. If that belief comes to an end, you as you know yourself, you as you experience yourself, will come to an end.
And thereby the belief comes to an end.
So you have got to replace that belief with another belief. I know so many people, millions, I'm sorry, that's an exaggeration, thousands and thousands of people in every part of the world pass through the portals of my residences in America, in Australia, in India, here in Europe, everywhere. And there came a time when I found out that this is useless. I've been trying to tell them that there is nothing to get from me, because I'm not going to give anything to you. And I used to add, you're not going to get anything from anybody, because there is nothing to get. So,
not even from the inner self, from the inner...
Nothing. It is an extraordinary, intelligent thing that is living its own life in its own way. I'm just pointing out the absurdity.
Yeah, but you're like the black hole of our planetary knowledge. Like whatever I ask you about religion,
so why do we
about you kind of say, well, psst, and it goes in the black hole of nothing.
Why do you take very seriously what the scientists are telling us? They say that there is chaos. And so one joker said, there is order in the universe. And somewhere along the line, the scientists find that there is no order, but there is chaos. All right, there is chaos. And a third joker comes along and says there is order and chaos in the same frame. Like the scientists are no different from the metaphysicians. We admire them, like them, because they have given all these things to us. The technical knowledge, which has helped us to do whatever we want to do. But that does not mean that there is anything. Why they are changing? They are all metaphysicians discussing these things and fooling themselves and fooling us all. They project their own ideations and meditations on what they are looking at. And we have tremendous faith in them. We believe that they know a lot more. They know nothing.